Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing the 7th recipe from the Blackberry Pie Murder. It is called the Rummy Tum Tum Cake. It is also the Rummy Tum Tum Chocolate Frosting. So you do have ingredients in two spots. You're going to want to preheat the oven to 350. You're going to want 1 box of chocolate cake mix, 1 box of chocolate instant pudding mix, half a cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of sour cream, a third of a cup of rum, 2 teaspoons of rum extract, 4 large eggs, and approximately 1 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips. For the frosting, you're going to want half a cup of salted butter, 1 cup of white sugar, a third of a cup of rum, half a cup of chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon of rum extract, and a half to 1 cup powdered sugar. I used a total of 3/4 cup. So, with that, it is being made in a bundt pan. So, we have the oven preheating to 350. Everything's laid out. Let's get started. This is everything we need for the cake and the frosting. So you want to spray your bundt pan real good with non-stick spray. That is item number 1. And then we're going to take the cake mix and the pudding and put them in the bottom of our mixer. Next, into our mixer, we have the oil, the rum, which while we're using rum and rum extract, I'm not quite sure. But there's the extract, and then our sour cream. That's all in. We're just going to get it started on low. Once that looks nice, we're going to start adding our eggs. Scrape this down real fast. And then I'm going to give it another minute to mix once I scrape down the sides. Make sure we get everything in. It says it should be nice and fluffy. Very, very rich in the scent of chocolate and rum. The frosting is one that looks like it's mixed on the stovetop, so we should not need this again for this recipe. It has you mixing in the chocolate chips by hand. It says to do this gently, so you want to keep your cake fluffy. Just kind of fold those in. Once you feel you've got those mixed in, you're going to spoon it into your bundt pan. I'm not going to spoon it. I'm just going to try to pour it in. It resembles chocolate pudding more than it does cake. It says to smooth out the top with a spatula. I'm just going to try to shimmy it. This is what we have going in the oven. It says it should take about 53 minutes. The first thing we're going to want to do for this frosting is take our stick of butter, our sugar, the rum. We're going to get that boiling and stirring constantly for 2 minutes. Alright, it is now boiling. The butter is almost melted. The sugar's been gone for a minute. We're going to turn this down to medium and boil it for 2 minutes. Okay, at the end of the 2 minutes, we're just going to add our chocolate chips and those mixed in. It just says to stir them in, so I'm going to try to get it all incorporated before I take it off the heat. Now we're going to add our rum extract. Okay, so it says to let this cool to room temperature and then to add the powdered sugar until it's to a spreading consistency. I'm not sure how long this is going to take to cool down, but we're going to give it like 5 minutes. I'm going to take it out of the metal pot and put it into a measuring cup with a pour spout though. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. It is still a little warm, but we're going to go with it. So it says to add about a half a cup, so it'd be about half of this into our bowl. And we will add more or less, not less, you can't add less. But apparently you're just looking for a spreaded consistency. It's very buttery still. I guess we're going to have to add enough powdered sugar to soak up that butter. Honestly, it seems oily. I almost feel like it would slide right off my cake. And it almost seems gritty as well, almost like it's crossing into a weird fudge territory. I'm going to add the rest of the icing just because I want it to see if it can give it some kind of stability. But I'm not sure sugar is going to save this. This feels like I'm going to slowly drizzle it on top and let it slide its way down. All right. Here's our cold cake. I put it in the fridge. It's kind of doing exactly what I was afraid of, where it's sort of staying and sort of sliding, but sort of not. Okay. I am just not a fan of cooked frostings. It kind of makes me think of a chocolate donut. But this is what we have going in the fridge. I'm sure it'll taste delicious later. It's very moist, slightly chocolatey, but very rummy. Like rum is definitely the predominantly flavor in this. The icing was a good flavor, but again, it was clumpy and chunky. It didn't really coat very well. You kind of have to maneuver it better. Overall, it's not bad. It has a nice flavor to it, and it is moist. The icing could have been better. Next week, we are making Winnie's Fresh Blackberry Pie, also named Blackbeard Pie for the book. If you are interested in that, join us next week. Have a good one. Bye.